let's talk a little college basketball. You look around the Portland, Vancouver area, and sometimes there's a great story. And one great story is up there in Palatine Hill. It's the Lewis and Clark women's basketball team, 23-2, and they had a big win in Forest Grove last night over Pacific, 70-63. Let's welcome in their head coach, Juli Fulks. And Julie, as I look at the official record, 13-2 in conference now. You're ranked in the nation's top 10 in Division III. You got to be feeling pretty good about where you are right now.
We are, Ron. I think we've had a incredibly exciting season. Our ladies are playing really well, and they're peaking at the right time. So it's been a very fun year so far.
Well, that's it. And, I love covering women's basketball. I do the play-by-play for Oregon State, and I respect how hard and how talented women's basketball teams are. And you guys have come on strong. I mean, last year you were close. This year you've had success against one of the big programs in the Northwest, George Fox. You guys, I think you beat them twice, right?
We have. They have been our rival and our nemesis all at once for the last few years. And 2 years ago, we co-shared the title with them, and last year they swept us and had the title. So we beat them 2-0 this year. We will likely play them in the first round of the conference tournament next weekend, and we'll have a chance to play them again and see if we can change the tides in the conference tournament and win that one.
You've got some great talent on your team. I see that Katie Anderson was named the Northwest Conference Women's Basketball Player of the Week. What does the junior guard give you besides, obviously, talent?
Well, Katie has done a phenomenal job for us this year. She is a great spark off the bench. She usually comes in at about the 16-minute mark. And the two things that Katie gives us is, one, she is a tenacious defender, and so she picks up the ball full court and hounds the other team's point guard and really wears people down. And we're able to use her in some different scenarios to deny people the ball when we're having some difficulties. And so that was the one piece. And then the second piece, because of her speed, she's able to get to the rim. And so she is a really tough young lady to guard. She can stay outside and shoot the three. And if you close out on her, her first step is so fast that people don't have a chance of staying in front of her.
Does she get kidded from the fact she is from Rancho Cucamonga, California?
Oh, not too bad. Most of our team has ended up being from California. With Lewis and Clark being a top academic school, our players are from all over the country, and that is fortunate because it lets us recruit from a lot of different places. And she is one of our many SoCal girls, and for them, that's a normal place. For the rest of us, it just sounds like a foreign town.
Juli Fulks is with us, the head basketball coach, women's basketball coach at Lewis and Clark College. You talked about academics, and when I was doing basketball play-by-play at the University of Portland, that was one of the challenges for the coaching staff, is to get quality players who are willing to not only work hard on the court, but in the classroom because of the academic requirements and the challenges there. How tough is that when you're recruiting to know that, maybe your pool might be a little smaller than other schools?
Well, you're absolutely right. We have a restricted recruiting pool, but there are some positives to that. Our players tend to have good work ethics because they are used to excelling in the classroom, and so when they get here, it can be a normal transition. The other positive is that usually leads to pretty intelligent basketball players. I think our biggest strength this year on the court is our ability to be flexible and really use a lot of different systems. And so we can go into a game with one game plan and adjust a lot. And so sometimes we'll have our first adjustment, our second adjustment, and end up at 3 or 4 depending on what teams are doing to us. And I think a lot of that just comes back to that they are really solid all-around people. They have a good work ethic, they're intelligent, and they try hard no matter what the endeavor. And it's easier for some of them than others, but the good news is they're all working at it. And, we have a team goal of having a GPA above a 3.0, and we take that just as serious as we do our on-the-court success.
22-2 is pretty successful on the court, no doubt about that. When it comes down to the style of play for you, Julie, do you like to emphasize the zone defense, a 2-3? Do you go man-to-man? Do you switch it? What do you do?
Well, that's a good question. This year we've done a lot of all of that. In the past I thought our strength was being good fundamental classic basketball teams, win in the half court, be stronger every possession, and win the boards. And the piece that is carried over is we are a very strong offensive rebounding team. We have a lot of speed, and so when a shot goes up, we send 5 to the boards and challenge the other team to rebound and run on us. And that probably tends to be what our team is about. They gamble, they are competitive, and they really like to play up-tempo basketball. And so this year, most times we switch all screens, we mix in zone and man the whole game to keep people off balance. But we try to play up-tempo, get steals, and get out and run and create some easy baskets because we are a smaller team this year. In the past, we've been one of the bigger teams. We've been able to use our size. And right now we start a guard that's 6 feet, and then we tail off pretty quickly.
You know, Julie, I know when you were in college, you went to Capital University in Columbus. You got to the Final Four in '97. Is that an experience that, I mean, do you try to relate that to the players about what a big deal it is and how cool it would be if you guys could get that far?
I try to relate it in some different ways. Our goal has been to get to the top of the country. You know, I remember when I showed up here, our men's coach told me, if you can win the league, you will be top 10 in the country. And he has been right. You know, the last 3 years, our league is so tough that we've been hovering in top 25 and down and won the league and been one of the best teams. And our biggest challenge typically is getting out of the Northwest. Last year we lost to George Fox at the buzzer, and they went to the national championship. And so, you know, I think what I took away from my experience in college is how tough it is to push for 5 months and to show up every night and win every game. And we try to really teach some life lessons to them about what it takes to be successful on a daily basis and what it takes to push over a course of time and the rewards of that. They have certainly earned having a chance to go to the Sweet 16 and the Final Four, and they have the talent to do it. And so I would be really, really happy for them if they could pull everything together and peak in the conference tournament and the first opening weekend and see where we could go from there.
Juli Fulks is our guest, head coach at Lewis & Clark. And Julie, how does a biology major wind up as a basketball coach?
That's a good question. This was not my intended path when I went into college, and you know, college does some interesting things. I tore my ACL twice and ended up seeing some different things and had some different experiences. And after I graduated, I was working in a hospital and using my biology degree, and I started coaching freshman girls basketball. And that was a passion that was instantly alive in me, and I knew I wanted to get to the college ranks, and I really enjoy working with this age group. I think the biology part really helps in terms of the logical piece. You know, you take our coaching staff, and 2 of us are scientists, and the others are kind of on the communications, and I'm fortunate between our group, we can kind of relate to our players in a lot of different ways. And both Coach Haristo and Coach Weitzel have been with us, and we've been doing this together for 9 years. And I think we have a great staff, but having the continuity with those 2, they both bring so much to the table that I'm really fortunate.
Well, listen, congratulations on the season so far. One more regular season game at Pacific Lutheran on Saturday, then off to the Northwest Conference Tournament and beyond. We'll keep tabs on it. Good luck to you, Julie, and appreciate you spending time with us here on Fox Sports Radio 620.
Well, thank you, Ron. We certainly enjoy having the opportunity to talk to you.
Juli Fulks right here on Wheels at Work.